Hey beautiful teachers, welcome back to Vivid Practice. My name's Nicola Canton. Today is a quick practice tip, and this is one of our practice plays that I call Whalesong. I like to give these fun names just because it helps them stick in people's minds and gives it like a defined practice strategy. But really this is about listening to the left hand, so that's the goal. Okay, here are the steps that we go through very simply. First of all, we have the student play the left hand of their piece or the section of the piece while humming along. They can sing along if they don't like humming. You can use a kazoo if they won't do either of those. That can be magical to get people to really do it because you have to hum into a kazoo to make it work. So it's like magic trick. So you can use a kazoo, humming, singing, whatever works. They're playing their left hand while humming, and then they play both hands, still humming with the left hand, and then they play the right hand, don't play the left hand at all, and still hum the left hand part. So what are we doing here? We're trying to get them to really pay attention to the left hand, but more than that, I want them to hear the left hand. I don't know if you think about this. I think about it a lot because I realized it, I think, as a teenager through having conversations just with my friends. So I had grown up obviously playing piano. I'd also been exposed to quite a lot of different music, including classical music, in my house. There was always different things on, it was the Beatles, it was modern stuff, but it was also a lot of classical music was played. And I had been to the concert hall, not all the time, but I at least had enough exposure to it that I knew it as a normal thing that we did. I didn't realize until having conversations, I think in my late teens with some friends, we'd be listening to something and they just weren't hearing what I was hearing. And it's one of those things, when you're a kid, well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of kids, I don't think I'm alone in this, you get obsessed with the idea that what somebody else is seeing as blue is not what you're seeing as blue. When I was a child, I used to have this idea that actually everyone had the same favorite color, but that we were all seeing different things as that thing. So we were all picking out the same one as our favorite. Mine was purple as a child. When somebody said their favorite color was blue, they were actually seeing what I was seeing when I was seeing purple, and so it was the same thing. Anyway, one of those little things you get kind of hooked on as a child. Hearing is the same way. It's much more influential because even if they're seeing different colors when we're talking about the same colors, it doesn't really matter because we're still referring to the same objects, right, as purple. But if we're hearing different things, they're not hearing the layers is what I was realizing as a teenager. And I wasn't pointing this out to them, but I was just quietly realizing, oh, to them it's not obvious what instruments are playing right now. And they're not even necessarily hearing the bass line there. And stuff like that. This is where I come back to Whalesong, because this is a rudimentary level of that. Some students, you play a piece of music for them, they haven't been exposed to a whole load of music, or they just haven't listened very actively, and so they can only hear the melody. Even some teenagers can only hear the melody. They know there's other stuff happening, but if you ask them to sing along with any other thing that's going on, they can't do it. This humming exercise is just a way to tap into that and also to really focus on how does the left hand actually go? Because especially if your student is going to memorize their piece, where does the memorization usually break down? If I ask a student to play a memorized piece hands together, it's normally pretty okay unless something goes wrong. Ask them to play just the right hand, normally fine. Just the left hand, they often can't do it, right? And it's often a little error that mixes up their left hand. They lose their sort of muscle memory of what's going on, their automatic left hand motions, and they have no idea what comes next. So we want them to be able to do that orally as well, and that's what Whalesong helps with. I hope you'll give it a go in your studio and let me know how it goes. Hope it adds some spice to practice time and to lesson time as well.